Welcome to any Real Madrid fans listening out there. This is an El Clasico reaction podcast to the first leg of the Copa del Rey Semi-Final against you-know-who, Barcelona. So this podcast will be a short one, a different one from the usual Tres Ways, One Goal podcast that comes out every Monday on all major podcast platforms. So this one will just be me exploring all my thoughts on the match that just happened. So let's get started. So before this match even started, the lineup that Real Madrid manager Santiago Solari set onto the field was a strong but interesting one. Basically, it was just a full lineup selection of what he usually trots out on the weekend. But one thing that had me startled was Marcelo starting at left back. Reguilón has essentially become the preferred left back of choice for Solari, and his selection based on his defensive fragilities kind of just puzzled me. But that he's the manager, he's the one that gets paid the big dollars to makes these decisions, so he went with it. But once this game actually started, you can sense that this El Clasico was far different from the one that happened in October, when Madrid was absolutely pasted 5-1 in El Camp Nou. Madrid had full intentions of winning this game, and they looked rather sharp in the first couple of minutes of the game. Toni Kroos's shot at his compatriot Ter Stegen was the first sign that Madrid was intent on walking away with a resounding victory. And a couple minutes later, the full-on attack eventually paid off as Jordi Alba misread the height of Vinicius' cross, and Benzema was able to play a pass into the incoming Lucas Vázquez for that goal. I mean, at this point, I was ecstatic. I was like, "What the heck? What a great start! Let's finish Barcelona off. Let's finish this on before Messi gets in. Let's make sure that Messi doesn't even get in." And after that first goal, it looked like that's what Madrid were going to do, as Barcelona tried to attack and push Madrid back, but it was all with no avail, and we continued to use our counterattack effectively to create more opportunities. We had, I think, 4 or 5 shots in the next 10 minutes, but the only time Barcelona looked kind of threatening the first 20 minutes was when Malcolm was let loose on a breakaway, and Keylor Navas had to step up and save the shot. But other than that, Madrid really held them at bay. After those initial 26 minutes, the tables kind of turned around, and Barcelona looked like the more threatening team. The header by Ivan Rakitic in the 32nd minute, it was the thing that kind of scared me, as it was nearly inches away from being a tied game. And essentially, the last 16 or 15 minutes of the first half was just like Madrid holding on to dear life, and they defended like crazy. I could kind of sense that the team wanted to get out and get this half over with, so they could regroup and come out stronger into the second half. I mean, but alas, that would not be the case. As soon as the second half commenced, Barcelona continued their onslaught. And again, eventually the cracks were too much, as Suarez shot a goal at the goalpost, and Varane's clearance fell onto the feet of Malcolm. And you know what happened? A goal. I mean, at this point, I was sweating and nervous. I was really essentially ticked off of what the goal had happened. It was a great clearance from Varane, only to land to the feet of Malcolm. We just put it away. And I thought to myself, was the worst case scenario that can happen is that Madrid loses 2-1, but we still maintain that away goal going to the Bernabeu in 2 weeks. So if we have that away, we could maybe shut them out and win 1-0 at home. And then came in the substitutions at the 60th minute, and basically all the substitutions came in. Vidal came in for Rakitic, Casemiro came in for Llorente because of injury, and then Messi came in for Coutinho, who was largely ineffective in this game, and then Bale for Vinicius. And as Messi entered onto the pitch, Barcelona continued their attack as he progressed the ball upfield and continued his runs. But something funny happened. So as soon as that Barcelona wave of attack ended, Madrid came right back at them and changed the momentum of the game back to them. We looked more comfortable. We were attacking more and more. Even if not all the shots and opportunities were great, you could sense that Barcelona was starting to retreat back. We had that one amazing chance from that pass from Benzema to Bale, and Benzema left Bale ample space to shoot. But the thing was, the Welshman couldn't get the ball under control, and he really wasn't able to cork a great shot at him. And after that, there really wasn't too much, and the game ended 1-1. My thoughts initially were this really wasn't the best result for Madrid, as I believe we could have scored 2 or 3 in those first 20 to 30 minutes of the game. But I mean, then after that, the next 15 minutes, Barcelona could have said the same thing. They could have had 2 or 3 goals. But I actually thought so after that, after kind of thinking of what could have happened, what could have not happened, 1-1 is actually the deserved result for both teams, as both had plenty of shots and chances and opportunities to create goals for themselves. But 1-1 is what it's at, and I think that's fair. I believe if we can go into the next leg and improve our finishing, I definitely can't see us not winning the next leg and going on to the final. I mean, Madrid had it there. If we could just improve in our finishing and some players improving here and there, we'll definitely beat Barcelona at home, with or without Messi. So some players that stood out to me in this game were Benzema, Lucas Vázquez, Toni Kroos, and Varane. Benzema and Vázquez, to me, worked well together up front, not just linking up on that one goal in the 6th minute, but they provided their usual and a bit more. To me, Vázquez provided his workhorse mentality that allowed him to press the Barca defenders when they had possession, and this caused a lot of the disruption in the first 20 minutes of the game. And then Benzema continued his recent form with a vast array of movements and passing. And oh my God, that passing continues to be something that's often overlooked. That pass to Bale, if Bale would have just got it under control and shot it, I'm pretty sure Ter Stegen could have done nothing to save that. And we could have been here talking about a different result, 2-1 instead of 1-1. And then Toni Kroos, he was definitely unafraid, and he often moved up front to continue the attack. I mean, I think in the first 10 or 15 minutes, I'd often see him on the right of Benzema, just what are you doing there? That should be Vázquez's spot, but he would be often there, pressing up to get more and more. And I believe in the first 5 minutes, that shot he took at Ter Stegen, that definitely set the tone of the game, and you could sense that Madrid's going to go for it. And his passing definitely got him out of some situations, and his man marking of Rakitic essentially neutralized the Croatian, and that's what led to Vidal having to come in for Rakitic at the 60th minute. Varane again was solid, and he was a rock in the back. He was definitely a calming presence during the Barcelona onslaught of the late first half and the early second half. The only negative thing about him was his clearance was a bit unlucky to land to Malcolm, but maybe next time luck will be better. Luck will be better with him. So it's time to turn to some players who could have done better today, because if everybody played well today, Madrid would have run away with this match. So to me, Marcelo, Vinicius, Bale, and Casemiro are all players who can improve going into the second leg of the semi-final. So let's start with Marcelo. He continues to prove his critics right, and he continues to prove Solari right about his decision to go Reguilón instead of him as the team's left back. More than often than not, he was caught out of position, and Barcelona used this to their strength and often attacked his side of the field, which is the left side of the field. Vinicius Jr., who has been in stunning form since the new year started, he just had a bad game this game. I mean, it happens to everybody, and his little 1-2 connections to Benzema that I've been working as of late in La Liga, they just weren't there this time. His shot selection in the first half wasn't great, as a lot of shots he took, just kind of went into Piqué, and they didn't really go anywhere. And his crossing and passing were just lacking today. It wasn't there today. There's that one example, I think, when he received the pass from Benzema and Vinicius cut it back, and I felt like he had an open shot to maybe shoot at Ter Stegen's left, but he kind of just scuttled the shot away, and I think it just ended up being a goal kick, and that happened in the first 20 minutes of the game. Bale and Casemiro as substitutes provided no substance or additional support to either the defense or the offense. I thought both had key plays that definitely could have and cost the team in this match. The first one is with Casemiro, who, as soon as he got onto the field, lost the ball to Messi, and that lost ball eventually led to a breakaway, but no goal was scored on that breakaway. The second one, I've already mentioned it, but it was that sweet pass from Benzema, who laid it down to an open Bale, and he just eventually fumbled it away. The Spurs was in him. But in the end, it was a fair result. But going into the second leg, I believe if we keep up the same form we've recently had, we're definitely going to win this semifinal against Barcelona, with or without Messi. I believe we're playing as a team, and we're not just relying on one individual player to bail us out. There's no Ronaldo this year. Everybody's doing great in 2019. It's all working together. The midfield, the front three of Vinicius and Karim Benzema and Lucas Vazquez. The defense has started to get solid again, and with the inclusion of Region, it could only get better if we play him in the second leg of the final. I don't think with us, even if we don't rely on a single player, we definitely can beat Barcelona. Okay, so yeah, it's the end of this short podcast, this rambling of sorts. Please stay tuned to our Twitter and Instagram pages for any updates from the Tres Ways One Goal podcasts, and that's spelled the number 3 GUEYS, the number 1 GOL podcast. We can be found on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, YouTube, and Google Play Music. We drop new episodes every Monday, and we drop them about Arsenal Football Club, Manchester United, Real Madrid, and anything else that happens during the week of soccer or football. All right, I'm going to sign off. Hala Madrid, and see you on Saturday for the Madrid Derby.